Hello everyone. So it's been a while since we met, and today I'm gonna bring you guys a budget version of Rorowa because the Beta 5 is coming out, and I thought that I would share my own budget list for you guys to build, right? Due to how expensive some of the staples in Overdress are. So the deck is very fun. It is one of those easy to pick up but hard to master kind of decks, and it revolves around resource managing, which is what I like to do since most of my decks are centered around trying to get as much value while doing what it wants to do, right? But this deck, for minimal effort, it has maximum results because of how easy some of the card setups are. So the deck itself will be distributed into three types of cards, right? Those will be the generators, those who will generate tokens, who will be sacrificed, those who will generate power for other units. We have the converters, who will use those tokens or units to draw as cards, get more power, and etc. And after that, the beaters themselves. So those who are meant to be in the front lines, attacking every turn, and those who we want to have in the board state in general. So Rorowa itself fulfills the converter and generator role, right? Because his right line focuses on generating plant tokens. On from grade 1, he generates 1 plant token. On grade 2 right, he retires 1 to grade 2. And this can make him a bit more aggressive on the second turn. And on the grade 3 right, he can generate up to 3 plant tokens with a soul blast. And then he can also sacrifice those tokens to generate power when he is attacked, right? So it's more of a defensive skill, which is like a reverse aggression curve because you tend to be more aggressive on the earlier parts, but then as the game goes on, you get a little bit to a grind game. After that, we have more generators, right? Which are the purple card here, the purple grade 2, and then the plant token generator beside the Mothman, and then this blue masquerade looking guy, which I don't really remember their names, so it's my bad. Anyway, the grade 2 generates 2 plant tokens for 1 counter blast, which is very nice. The grade 1 generates 1 on call if you have a grade 3 Vanguard, and the other one just straight up give power to 1 grade 1 unit, which will be very useful for a certain unit that we will talk about later. But it's also useful for grade 1 aggression and to give your plant tokens power so you can attack much higher numbers later on, or maybe even earlier. And after that, we have the beaters, right? So there are only 2 beaters. There's Shield Fisher and Redilina. So Shield Fisher is very good in this deck because you will be summoning tokens which counts as units not from hand. And then he's an 18k base, is very nice. There's also another card similar to it called Tier Knight Flasher, but a 1 card setup versus a 3 card setup, I think I'll take Shield Fisher any day over a grade 2 that requires more cards to do the same thing. And for Radiant itself, it's one of the key pieces in this deck because she is practically designed for Rorowa, right? Her skill is that she can summon a Momoke token for 1 counter blast, and her other skill is that Glimmer, right? It has to be Rorowa Vanguard. For when she attacks, she can soul blast 1 card and to gain the power of any token unit in the same column. So you can copy plant tokens 5k and Momoke tokens, which can go even higher. And the reason is that Momoke's skill is that he's also a converter, right? He sacrifices units to generate power, so you can sacrifice any numbers and get that many 5k counters. But you can only do it once per turn, so yeah, you gotta make it count. And then Momoke can also attack from a back row if you have Redilina in the same column, so it will allow the deck to have 4 attacks, which I think is very good, right? Because decks that can only attack 3 times either have to have really huge numbers or they can outvalue your opponent. But in this case, I'll take the extra attack over that anytime, I guess. And those are the beaters, right? After that, we have the converters, the last category of cards in this deck. So I mentioned Rorowa, the grade 3 Rorowa, and Momoke token, but there's also the Mothman, Actiastiki, and you also have the Order down there, which is a Tearful Malice. So Actiastiki's ability is that for one Karma Blast, you can retire 2 units. It has to be, it can be any unit, to draw 1 card and give itself 5k, which is pretty great for early aggression. It's also great for being a attacker when you did your personal right for that turn. So keep generating tokens and then keep generating value with Actiastiki and etc. And for Tearful Malice, it is very important in this deck. It is a very solid budget option because this deck requires a lot of soul, right? With Rorowa and Redilina taking them turn by turn, right? So what Tearful Malice does is that for 2 units, you can retire 2 units, 2 rear guards to be exact. So they can counter charge, draw a card, and shove Tearful Malice into your soul. So it's very good to maintain your soul. But there's also another option. That's the grade 2 that plays. You can soul charge 2 if you have no soul at all. But the problem with the deck is that because it's built around, I guess, Tearful Malice, it's built around Actiastiki, stuff like that. You have more generators than you have board space. So there are times where you can't really call anymore and you gotta like convert them more efficiently. So I would say Tearful Malice is much more better in this deck. And not mention it's also a common, so it's very cheap. And for triggers, you can run whatever you want. I do recommend running draw triggers like 6 draw 6 crits, but if you're on a budget like this, I recommend you to just run straight up fronts so you can have more power to chip away at your opponents while you yourself are drawing cards and having maximum results from the minimum output. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe because it helps me to, it motivates me to make more videos and more content. So thank you guys. See you next time.